What's up, everybody? Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes here to talk to you about the iPV4s. Vast improvements on the iPV4. Thing's pretty awesome. Improved grip, improved body, improved screen, improved everything. Definitely a big upgrade. 20 more watts on this thing, 120 watts instead of 100 watts. I know it says 100 watts on the box, but I think they're just using the rest of their 100 watt boxes until they get to these 120 watt boxes coming up. But it is 120 watts, and I will prove this to you real quick. Crank it up. Oh, I got it on memory settings. Crank it up to 120 watts. On here I have a 0.2 build on this 13 Heavens 9 Hells. 120 watts, a little too warm, especially when you're vaping cotton instead of juice. Like I said, this thing is vastly improved on the old IPV4. The grip has been improved that covers the battery. It doesn't fall off as easily. Doesn't feel as cheap on the regular IPV4. If I were to do this, it would be buckling off, going crazy. Right now, it slides off easily, but it does have magnets. So these little weird, I don't know really how to explain it. These little spherical bumps on here that fit in these little notches that help keep this grip on, so you're not going to lose anything like you would with the original IPV4. Does take dual 18650 batteries. I do have my Samsung or my Sony VTC4s in here right now, and from using this thing, it is, it's a little after 3 o'clock right now. I've been using this since, let's say, about 10 o'clock this morning, and I've only gone down about 25%, and I've used this exclusively all day. Heavy usage, this should get you, 0.2 at about 80 watts, 120 right now, but about 80 watts of 0.2 will get you probably 2 days battery life, which is, pretty impressive. It has a pass-through charge function, which should be expected of all boxes now. Boxes have been coming out for a while now, and I'm pretty disappointed when I get these new products that don't have a pass-through that allows you to charge it or use it while it's charging, like in your car or like sitting at your desk watching TV or something like that. Uses a micro USB, so basic Android charger. Just make sure the voltage is correct. Another thing, temperature control. And IPV4 was already temperature control. Temperature control in this is a little more precise. Reads down into the thousandth when you're resistance, and then it rounds up after it reads that thousandth. But works similar. We did the video on the Sigeli 150 watt temperature control, and I'm pretty sure the chip is either the same or very similar in this because it has the same menu options. The main display is a little different when you look at this than when you look at the Sigeli 150 watt. But essentially, when you do the little button clicks, the 5 button clicks, and you start getting down into the menu, it's the exact same options, basically exact same menu. System, the power mode, exit mode, or whatever, all this stuff. Well, identical. Works great though. So they have a pretty good competitor in this. $120 watts. I don't need to go up high on these wattage, but cloud chasers do. Like I've said many a time that I am a flavor chaser. So when I want to get down to flavor chasing, I want to use the temperature control setting on this thing. So I'm going to throw on a temperature controlled RDA on here with a nickel coil, and I'm going to demonstrate how to use temperature control on this device. So, all right, back with this. Now I'm using the Substank Nano. I have a nickel coil in here. It's not Camthol. Do not use your Camthol or your G-Plat or blah, blah, blah wire or whatever wire. If it's not titanium or it's not nickel, or if it's not specifically marketed as temperature control wire, if you don't know what you're doing, please don't use it when you use the temperature control setting. All right, so essentially, like most temperature control mods, you're going to have to lock in what the resistance of the coil is. And the way you do that on this is you press the positive, negative, up, down, whatever you want to call these 2 buttons. They're not marked. You press them at the same time, and it will say set resistance. What it did for me is it set the resistance at 0.138, and so I have a point, or what was that? Yeah, 0.138, and it rounds up as a 0.13 coil. So you go into your settings, you double tap, or you click 5 times. You go to mode, and it's in power right now, which is your variable wattage setting. So if you're doing your cloud chasing or you want to do your Ohm's law or whatever for this, you have it in power setting. you switch it to joules for whenever you want to switch to your temperature control. And then I have it in Fahrenheit mode, obviously. Temperature, I like 400 degrees. Not too hot, not too cold, very satisfying. And then it asks you to select your coil, nickel or titanium. Right now we're using a nickel coil, so we're going to throw it in there for the NI 200. Exit out of here, 400 at 40 joules. And as I'm hitting this button, it's jumping around. It's averaging around 3.57 volts. It jumps up to 3.63, and it jumped down to 2.96. Essentially what it's doing is it's set at 400 degrees. The device knows what the resistance is in the coil, and it knows that what wattage, or essentially voltage, the wire, what the temperature of the wire will be at any given voltage. So it's jumping up and down to give it more power, less power, or whatever, to keep the temperature of that coil at 400 degrees. Essentially, the benefits of this is you can set the temperature at right below the combustion value of the cotton, so you can constantly fire this thing until it's dry and your cotton won't burn. You won't have any black spots or charred spots. All you'll have is the burn up, VG and flavoring that are on your coil. That's the only time you're gonna have to change your coil. You no longer have to worry about accidentally hitting this thing at 100 watts or something like that, burning up the coil and having to get a new coil because the cotton is ruined, and no matter what juice you put in there, it's just tasting like something scraped off the bottom of a frying pan. That's Kryptonite by Cosmic Fog, and that is nothing but flavor out of this thing. I really enjoy it. You can change how many joules you want pumped into this thing at any given time to control the power, lower the max voltage, whatever you want it to be. You can crank it up, lower it. It's going to give you bigger clouds, denser clouds, more flavor, whatever, bigger hit, harsher hit, throw hit, blah, 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 whatever. These settings are there. I like to keep it at the default, 40 joules. And you can do back-to-back hits, and the only thing you got to worry about is, are you hitting it too fast where the juice is not seeping into the coil? That's it. Temperature control is definitely the future. Regulated devices are quickly becoming my favorite devices. I was one of the stubborn people that was always stuck on mechanical mods, and I am slowly but definitely and surely I am switching over to regulated devices. I know I'm always telling you that the devices are awesome, but if we're doing a video on it, it's because I've had my hands on something and I really, really like it. And I think that you guys are gonna like it. You don't know how many devices I get back there. I get a sample in, or we purchase some devices or something like that, and I get them back there and I start testing them, and I don't like them. Well, we don't do videos on those. I mean, why would we? So don't be worrying about whether or not I'm always telling you something is great. This is a great device. It does come in this stainless, or this silver look with the black grip, and it does come in black with a black grip. Both of these look pretty sleek, pretty sexy, very comfortable to hold. Don't have to worry about the device getting too hot because this grip right here doesn't conduct heat very well, so it's always going to be comfortable in your hand, never too warm. Doesn't feel like you're holding a battery that's overheating or anything like that, so you won't be worrying about anything. Very safe device. Plenty of regulations. 10 out of 10 device. I really don't have any complaints other than what I had with the iPV4 at first. The grip, kind of annoying. I'd rather have a battery door that's on there a little better than a grip like this that covers both sides, but the grip has definitely improved over the iPV4. And as always, it's Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes. If you have any questions, comments, you want to talk to us, shoot us an email, give us a phone call, or leave a comment below. Thank you for vaping.